This is Tim Delaney from the Business Buying for Financial Independence podcast. I hired Adam to help me launch my podcast. This was an idea, a concept that I've had for years, but hiring Adam was the push that I needed to get it over the finish line and officially launched. What would have taken me months, if not years longer, took just weeks to get going. Adam provided all of the resources, tools, and support that I needed to get the podcast off the ground and rolling. I've already seen great success in the number of downloads I've had in the first few episodes because of his tips and tricks, and look forward to growing as I release more episodes.
What's up, pod pals? It's your buddy Adam, and you are listening to Podcasting Business School. It's the show where I teach podcasters simple strategies to help you make more money, get more clients, and build a profitable online business. Today we're talking about the spicy topic of what I'm selling instead of online courses. Are online courses dead? I'm hearing that out there a lot. We are going to unpack this. This is a newer strategy. I've got a ton of my clients that are working on this new type of an offer. After we get through this content, if you're feeling like you could use a little bit of help to speed through this process, hit the link in the show notes and sign up for a free podcast profit potential discovery call. We can talk about some options on how we can work together and speed up this process. Okay. So the core problem we're addressing is, Adam, I can't figure out how to get new clients and make sales with my podcast. The subset problem within that problem is the question, are online courses dead? We are hearing this a lot. And this past week, there's a big announcement in the online content space. Amy Porterfield, breaking news, Amy Porterfield is not going to sell online courses anymore. Therefore, online courses are dead. I was cracking up. People were freaking out about this. And then her other friend, Jenna Kutcher, is going to stop podcasting. So obviously podcasting is also dead. But I was cracking up because people are losing their mind over this. And I'm as big a fan of Amy as anybody. But here's what I thought. I'm like, oh, wow. Amy Porterfield does yet another 7+ figure multi-million-dollar online course launch, decides it's not worth the effort anymore, and stops selling online courses. And I'm like, if I ever do a 7+ figure launch, never done it. Hopefully it's in my future. Let's manifest that together. If I ever do a 7+ figure launch, pod pals, I'm gonna take all that money. I'm gonna get some sort of construction equipment to haul it and dump it inside of an empty swimming pool. And I'm gonna Scrooge McDuck swim in that. I'm gonna be backstroking in that pool full of money, y'all. And I'm gonna keep selling my online courses or whatever got me there. That's the difference between, Amy's level of entrepreneurship success, millions and millions and millions of dollars sold. And then there's the rest of us out here. So we don't necessarily need to follow in step with people that are making, $250 million online already. But the world they're living in is different than the world that we're living in, right? The other term I'm hearing a lot that kind of adds into this whole online courses are dead narrative is the phrase trust recession. There is a trust recession. And honestly, I'm not exactly sure what that means. That's kind of like the phrase thought leader. What the hell is that even supposed to mean? I'm a thinker. I'm a thought leader. I don't know. I've always been confused by those terms as well. Like, what exactly does that mean? What does trust recession mean? But there may not be trust recession. There may or may not be. 100%, I can guarantee you there is an implementation recession. That's the problem. People, us included, silently and maybe shamefully hold your head down and raise your hand if you've ever bought an online product and not finished it. We've all done it. Okay. So how do we fix this implementation recession? So let's first discuss what doesn't seem to be working as well. All right. And you can loosely define the term as working, like people aren't buying as much, people aren't selling as high a figure of launches and things like that. So the thing doesn't seem to be working quite as well compared to the olden days of like 5 years ago. high ticket online courses with no community or support included. Like the whole, all right, price this at $1,997. It's a 4-module course. There's 48 videos in there. We're going to set up a funnel or do a launch or do a webinar and sell those like hotcakes. That doesn't seem to be happening, and 2,000 plus, 5,000 plus, even $1,000 plus courses. And some people are out there going, Adam's an idiot. I've made tens of thousands of dollars doing this and I'm still doing it. And I know those people exist. It just doesn't seem like the average Joe or average Jane person is able to do this at the level that we have in the past. All right. Let's talk about what does seem to be doing quite okay. As far as just, I'm talking with you all. I've got my ear to the ground as far as like online business and entrepreneurship. I'm attending the events and the workshops. I'm plugged in. All right. And not saying I'm the know-all, end-all, know-all, be-all source on this, but just kind of what I'm seeing. So lower ticket as defined by under $500 standalone courses and even like PDFs that don't have any video component at all, just like a PDF with some instructions on how to do something, sub 500, those seem to be doing okay still. I just bought one 2 days ago. I bought a $127 PDF, 0 videos, instructions on selling things from Threads. I'm quadrupling, 10xing down on the Threads platform. That'll be a different podcast episode. So I bought, I want to skip the line. I want to go a little bit faster. So I always look to buy courses, buy resources, hire coaches, and move faster. That is something that's a lesson that I've learned along the way. So I think lower ticket, sub 500, standalone courses are still a thing. Now, another thing that seems to be doing okay is like mid to high ticket. So over 500. Now we're in that 1,500, 2,000 range, maybe 997 range. Mid to high ticket courses sold usually during a launch period or a webinar or something like an open cart session that include a community or group coaching. So there is a support aspect. Those still seem to be doing okay. All right. Now, when it comes to me and when it comes to the conversations I'm having with you all, let me just speak for myself. I hate doing launches. I hate the pressure. I hate the time sensitivity. I hate the salesiness of it. I don't like that language. I don't like being like, okay, now you got to buy this date or it all goes away. So that's just not me. That's not the way that I operate. I feel like there's a lot of noise out there with that tone, and I don't want to add to that noise. It just is totally against the grain of what I want to do. And I'm at the entrepreneurship age where I want what I want, and that's okay. I don't need any other justifications than saying I don't want to do something or I do want to do something. Okay, let's go. All right. So I hate doing launches and everything that is involved with that. And I hear a lot of you saying the same thing, like the pressure, the open cart, closed cart, like that. There's that thing of, okay, there's group coaching, but what if only 3 people sign up and then I look like an idiot or I don't look like as important as I feel like I should because now there's only 2 or 3 people showing up in these group support things when it should be 30 or 50 or 100. Like we've all been there where we sold a thing and a whole bunch of people bought it and you're like, yes, I'm important and this feels great. And there's 100 people in this group thing. And then I've been there. A lot of you have been there where it's like, I worked so hard, done the same protocol and 7 people bought it and I made $20 or whatever. And now I've got 8 weeks of coaching 7 people and one of them shows up for the group coaching and it's just weird and awkward and we get in our head. I don't like any of that. So I'm doing something different. So here is what I'm doing. Here's what I'm going to teach you about today. And I got a lot of clients that are now plugging into this and they are excited. We're not quite to implementation mode yet because this is still a newer concept. I always try things with my own business first. Then I usually go into my group coaching program going, hey, I'm going to teach you guys about this. Who wants some help with implementing? Let's get to work on that. And then I kind of unfold it and reveal it to my podcast audience, my newsletter audience, my social media audience. So here's what I'm doing instead. I am taking my online courses, which I have a lot of, and I'm adding what I refer to as pop-in office hours coaching. and I'm creating a package out of this. So online course plus pop-in office hours coaching. So with this protocol, there's no launch needed. This is a start anytime offer. You can start any time. When it's right for you, you can start and you get this. The other aspect that I like about this is no need for like a special time-sensitive community or group coaching add-on where it's like, okay, now the group thing is live and I have to create a whole new group thing and it's going to be live for 4 weeks and then I shut it down. Not necessary, right? I can also price this at sub $500, which it helps in a couple of ways. It creates a great entry point into my world. I've been pricing these at $297 if you want to know. And it's a great entry point. Okay. It's a lower ticket entry point. Okay. It's just a single solution. So if it's my podcast growth bootcamp or my high value newsletter bootcamp, like it's solving one thing. We're not going, hey, join, my group coaching where you have access to all this stuff. It's like, okay, you want to improve your podcast growth, sign up for my podcast growth bootcamp course plus coaching program. We're going to work on that for 4 weeks. Bam. Simple. All right. So it's a great entry point. The second thing I like about this is it really increases the chance of these people continuing on to that monthly group coaching because they're experiencing a little slice of that with the office hours. Now the group coaching has a lot more to it and you get access to all the courses instead of just one. But this is kind of like the gateway, the entry point of, oh, I've built some momentum and I'm starting to have people going, oh, so what is the next step? What's this newsletter thing about? What's this business simplification protocol about? What's this listener to client conversion protocol about? And those questions are popping up and people are going, okay, now I'm going to convert over into being a month-to-month group coaching member. So I like that. Like it a lot. Let's break down the exact package. And I'm going to thoroughly define office hours. I've done that in a previous episode, but it's a little bit of a foreign concept to a lot of because it's different than group coaching. Let me just start with that. So here's the package breakdown. I can take any online course and just one. That's something that so far, I'm a firm believer in one course. Don't do the big, like, oh, we're doing a ton of different things. One course plus online office hours access. All right. So one online course, and then I'm adding on 4 weeks of pop-in office hours coaching. So the pop-in office hours coaching, here's the difference between office hours and group coaching. Office hours, I do every week, multiple times per week. There are a bunch of open slots, 60-minute slots on my calendar. All right. And this is a pop-in session where people who have access to this feature of my coaching can come in and they are bringing a project they want to work on or a problem they want to solve or a question that they have for me. Everybody gets individual time and we work on that. So if 6 people show up, I divide up the hour. Everybody gets 10 minutes. We go around in a little like speed mastermind circle, first come, first serve. And so you are bringing the issue to the table and we are working on that. So if you're going through my podcast growth bootcamp course and you're like, okay, I need to work on the SEO with the name of my show and the art. We're going to bring those issues to the table. You're working through that on the course and then you're coming to office hours going, hey, Adam, what do you think? And that way I can help you implement better, faster, more effectively. All right. You get that support. And we go around the circle and I only allow up to 8 people in this office hour session. That way everybody's getting at least like 6, 7, 8 minutes. All right. We can get a lot done. And the nice thing about the office hours is that I can, like my group coaching members get access to the same office hours. These course plus coaching offers get access to the same office hours. My one-on-one consulting clients get access to the same office hours. My podcast growth certification program, my podcast growth coach certification program, I should say, also have access to these same office hours. So people from different parts of my offer ecosystem are mingling and interacting together. And this was an unexpected benefit for me as a business owner, is that this creates a lot of curiosity because they see other people asking these questions and they're sharing screens and we're working on their newsletter opt-in page or what I call their thank you page mini offer. and somebody isn't doing that program, they're like, what, that thing that Sheila was just working on, what's that all about? When can I do that? A lot of that is happening. And it's like a speed mini mastermind where people are sharing ideas. Everybody's giving input. Hey, what do you guys think about this podcast art? Should we go with a red background or an orange background? What about this font? We're able to get feedback and crowdsource ideas. And again, the best part about the pop-in office hours is that it's just a rolling calendar. There's no start or stop date. There's no group cart open, cart close. I just, as people buy the program, if office hour slots start to fill up, I just add a few more. That's it. So no special Facebook group, no special Slack channel, no special anything. It's just rolling. If I want to take a break, I just close up the office hours, and if I was going to go on vacation for a week or something like that, if people buy, then I add an extra week of access onto their account. No big deal. Easy. All right. So that's office hours. Group coaching for me, when people sign up for my monthly group coaching program, they get office hours every single week. And then we do a group coaching every other week. So on top of that, that's where I come and teach on a specific topic, and we have a discussion and training on a specific topic. Totally different. All right. So that is the package breakdown. Any of my online courses plus 4 weeks of pop-in office hours coaching. Where am I selling these? The big three for me. All right. I can sell these directly from my podcast, directly from my newsletter, and directly on Threads, which is my social media platform. All right. So on the podcast, I'm not selling as much. If you've been listening the last several weeks, I'm testing these offers a little bit. But I can, since it's a sub $500 offer, that is more likely in my experience to sell. Like you can sell those from your podcast, from an audio call to action. What I found is like something over $500 is harder to sell on this audio format, because you guys are mowing your lawn, you're doing deadlifts at the gym, you're driving your kid to school, and making a purchase that there's a little bit of friction to doing that, because you're not going to pull your car over and go, I got to buy this thing from Adam that's $2,000 while you're driving your kid to school. That's not going to happen. All right. So the fact that it's sub 500, a little bit easier to remember. There's not, like, you should be thinking through a $2,000 purchase. And when somebody's multitasking, that's probably not going to happen. Maybe you're like sitting at your kid's martial arts class right now, and you're like, oh, this is a $297 thing. You're more likely to buy that while you're doing something else than you are a $2,000 thing. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm selling these for my newsletter, where I can hyperlink this. I can just mention, I always include a testimonial, and maybe it's a testimonial from my podcast growth bootcamp. I will just hyperlink podcast growth bootcamp, and that goes to my offer page. Easy. All right. Threads. I'm really leaning in, like I said, on the Threads platform once again. And I'm selling the podcast growth bootcamp. That's my focus on Threads right now, because a lot of people are interested in growth, and that course plus coaching program is a great solution to that, to speed up that process. A lot of people, as most of you know, if you have been listening to my show for a while, most of you are kind of lost in the woods of podcast growth, and I can fix that pretty darn quickly. So on Threads, I'm directly selling that podcast growth bootcamp with a link in my bio, a lot of mentions, things like that. Let's wrap up with kind of a simple content funnel, because now at this point you should be going, okay, I can sell this for my podcast, my newsletter, Threads, or whatever. How do I do that? I'm going to give you a simple content funnel. All right. Don't over complexify this. All right. Do not over complicate this, pod pals. Here's the funnel. 3 steps. This can be used in podcast content. This can be used in newsletter content. This can be used in social media content. Step 1, call out the problem. What is the problem that you're going to solve with your content? Have you ever felt like XYZ? Do you ever struggle with XYZ? Call out the problem. That's step 1. Step 2, teach about solving the problem with your content. Okay, well, in today's newsletter, we're going to dive in, and I'm going to give you 3 action steps that are going to help you solve this problem. Bam. Podcast episode, whatever. Threads, social media. And step 3, end with a call to action to solve the problem faster with your course plus coaching offer. All right. So for an example, I could do a podcast episode where I say, okay, have you ever felt like you are working so hard on growing your show, but all you're getting is crickets? You got 17 people listening, and most of them are your relatives and cousins and stuff like that. And that's the problem. Okay, well, in today's podcast episode, I'm going to give you 3 steps that you can take right away that don't cost anything. They're going to help you at least double your downloads. Now I go through 1, 2, and 3. Then at the end, I go, and if you want to move a little bit faster with your podcast growth process, tag me the heck in, because I will help you double your downloads in 30 days. Most of my clients are 3Xing, 10Xing their downloads over a matter of a couple of months with my podcast growth bootcamp system. You're going to get 4 weeks of coaching with me, the full protocol inside the course, link in bio. Bam. That's the CTA. So call it the problem, step 1. Teach about solving the problem, step 2. Give a simple CTA to your offer, step 3. Pod pals, this is the way. And let me tell you, I love this. I love the simplicity of this entire system. I love how my calendar looks now, because I'm doing fewer discovery calls just because a lot of people are just buying this and they're popping into office hours, and we're just putting in work. And that's what I love to do. I don't love doing all the selling and all the marketing and all the launching and all the crap that comes along with that. I like helping you. I like teaching. The right people step forward and go, hey, I want to go a little bit faster. Boom, here's the thing. Watch the videos, pop in, get the help, implement, and let's freaking go. Let's solve the implementation recession for our clients. I think this is an offer, and a type of an offer that a lot of you, it'll help you as the business owner. If you hate launching, I definitely want you to consider this, but it's also going to help your clients because you can provide a simple solution and they're able to learn quickly. We are getting fast results with this protocol. All right. So I have unpacked several steps to help you with solving this problem. Just to lead by example here. If you guys would like to move a little bit faster, definitely hit that discovery call link in the show notes. I've got Course Plus coaching programs on how to create a Course Plus coaching program. I've got my group coaching. There's one-on-one consulting. There's a lot of different avenues that we could explore. One of the best things to do is just hit that discovery call link, hop on my calendar. We could talk about working together. The best solution that fits your budget. That's what the goal is there. So Pod Pals, I appreciate you. And I'm going to send you out into the world wishing you health, happiness, and many downloads. I will see you on the next episode. If you need a little bit of help with your podcast launch, growth, or monetization strategy, head on over to my website, www.podcastingbusiness.school, and get signed up for a free podcast profit potential discovery call. During this free 20-minute discovery call session, I'm going to analyze your podcasting brand and tell you where I think you're missing on an opportunity for profits. Next, I'm going to tell you exactly what I suggest that you do as your next step. If I've got an offer that would help you accelerate the process, we can discuss working together as well. So head on over to my website, www.podcastingbusiness.school, and click on the Discovery Call button to schedule your free Podcast Profit Potential Discovery Call.